the man accused of attacking Congresswoman Angie Craig will remain in jail for at least another month.
He appeared in court today for a detention hearing, hours after the Minnesota Democrat revealed she has received politically motivated verbal threats since her assault. Police have charged Kendra Hamlin with assaulting Craig earlier this month. Hamlin has not entered a plea yet. Earlier today, Representative Craig released audio recordings of threatening messages she received this week. Her office claims these messages are a direct result of opposition research, saying she supports defunding the police.
Joining us now from Capitol Hill is CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. Scott, what else can you tell us about these messages that have been released and today's detention hearing?
Yeah, Errol and Elaine, two very different things happening simultaneously. A remarkably surprising thing. Angie Craig, the Minnesota Congresswoman, trapped and punched by an assailant in the elevator of her Capitol Hill apartment. But then something more increasingly common and potentially remarkably common. What's happened since, some politically motivated, politically loaded, violent phone threats received by Congresswoman Craig ever since the notoriety of her assault. Let's start with the first part. Kendra Hamlin of Washington, D.C. stands charged with assaulting Ms. Craig in that elevator. She managed to ward him off, she says, by throwing her hot, scalding coffee on him, then running and screaming for help. Hamlin was to be in court Friday afternoon for a detention hearing. The defense says they'll let him stay in pretrial detention pending the next hearing in this case, March 16th. He is charged with a federal crime, assaulting a member of Congress with a 10-year prison max. But after Ms. Craig did her interviews about that assault, after her name became a national headline, there were cable TV news segments, her staff says, that misrepresented her record, accused her of being soft on police, and after that, they say she received by phone a series of vulgar, violent threats, some of which said that she deserved to get assaulted. That is the reality at this politically toxic moment, that violent threats with political motives are increasingly common. In Errol and Elaine, our review found in 2021 alone, after the U.S. Capitol attack, there were 10,000 investigations of threats against members of Congress. So these two things have coincided today for Angie Craig, the third-term Democrat from Minnesota.
10,000. Wow. It's just so sobering to hear that, Scott. Well, Capitol Police have reported threats against Congress, more than doubled between 2017 and 2021. So what actions are being taken to increase lawmakers' safety?
Yeah, we're in a post-January 6th world here at the U.S. Capitol, and one of the things police have done is actually deploy their special agents and their investigators outside this seemingly fortified zone of the U.S. Capitol. They have special agents, Capitol Police field offices now elsewhere in the country, with an understanding that members of Congress may be more vulnerable, more prone to assault or threat when they're outside the dome, when they're at the airport, in their hometowns, at their district offices. We saw this example with Angie Craig, where she was assaulted, though not for political reasons, in the elevator of her apartment. So they're also trying to deploy more security measures that don't involve agents or officers, encouraging members of Congress to install more alarm systems, security systems, giving them some taxpayer funds to do so, or permitting them to use their campaign funds to do so, to ensure they're better protected when they're not here. Because January 6th aside, there's an understanding members of Congress are quite safe when they're here, but they're more vulnerable when they're going to or at home.
All right, Scott MacFarlane on Capitol Hill for us. Scott, thank you.